I have more triple winners like that.
Manny, if you beat Broner, and I know you want to focus in on January 19th, have you been given assurances that if you beat Adrien Broner, that the Mayweather rematch would be next in 2019?
I cannot give you assurance for that, but if you ask me, it's good for me. I mean, it's good that that fight will happen because then the question about Mayweather fight it will stop. You know? People are asking about the fight with the rematch with Mayweather all over again. But I think it's good to have another fight with Floyd Mayweather because of these questions from the fans, from the people. They've been asking that question because the first one is doubtful.
Do you regret taking that first fight, given that you had that shoulder injury that you were dealing with? Do you wish, in hindsight, that you had delayed it?
I'm not regretting about what happened the first fight, but of course there's a second fight. If that fight happen again, I won't think it will not happen again. The excuses.
Leonard's right here. Leonard, has Floyd told you that his plan is to fight him again in May?
No, absolutely not. We haven't had one discussion about it. Focus is obviously Manny and Broner. It's a great fight, and I think that Adrien has something to say about that. That all the talk out there that about a rematch. I haven't had a discussion with Floyd about that.
That's what I'm thinking about. I have to focus this fight first against Adrien Broner. It's hard to talk about after this fight, about the rematch with Floyd that I have a coming fight with Broner. So I think it's the right time to talk about that maybe after the fight with Broner. But if you say there's a rematch, no, I can say no, there's no rematch. Because I'm fighting with Adrien Broner.
Manny, you had your pick of the litter when it came to the welterweight, so what was the inspiration behind going with Adrien Broner as opposed to any of the other guys?
I saw his couple fights. Adrien Broner is fast, he's a good boxer. He's good to challenge, good challenge for me. Especially he's young, and I'm turning 40 years old this December. So that's a big challenge for me.
Leonard, quick question. Floyd has made it clear he's only going to fight for 9 figures. He's not doing medium-sized fights. A rematch with Manny, what anyone says, would still be a 9-figure fight. On the night of January 19th, if Manny wins against Broner, would you then at least broach the subject with Floyd, or is that something he has to bring up specifically?
Totally, it would be up to him. It's his choice. He always makes the decisions when it comes to his fights and who he wants to fight. It would totally be up to him.
Do you think he would be interested?
It's tough to say. Tough to say.
Manny, two-part question. What's been the highest moment of your career? What's been the lowest? And what do you want to prove in this second part of your career?
The highest moment in my career is when I was voted as a fighter of the decades, and win those titles, different weight division. That's the highest moment in my career. And the lowest moment in my career is when I lost the fight that I'm supposed to be with.
Which one was that?
The birthday fight, a horn fight.
Manny, style does Broner remind you of that you fought in your career? Yeah, his style, does it remind you of anybody that you fought in your career?
His style is remind me of Mayweather fight.
So, you fighting him, is that kind of not a warm-up, but like a test to see how you can adjust to that style to get ready for a rematch with Floyd?
Well, it just happened that Adrien Broner is my opponent, but it's not my plan. Just to fight one at a time. And my focus is just to Adrien Broner, not to Floyd Mayweather. And like I said, there is no rematch. We just focusing right now for January 19. And after that, I have we have election in the Philippines by May next year.
Manny, you said that you have learned to develop your power. Can you elaborate a bit more on exactly how you've gone about that?
Oh, there's some strategy that we applied back with Buboy Fernandez, and I think it's really neat that strategy in training routine.
Manny, have you watched any Adrien Broner fights?
Yes, I did a couple fights.
Which one?
I cannot memorize his opponent, but the one with what is the Mexican guy?
Jesse Vargas?
The last one?
Jesse Vargas and the other one?
Maidana. Manny, I find so many metaphors to come up with. You said you're fighter of the decade, Mayweather Promotions promoting the fight. It took 5 years to make Mayweather Pac 1. Can you make your silent thoughts loud now and speak on that now you're teammates and working together to facilitate the sport of boxing? Like you and Mayweather Promotions are working together. It took 5 years for y'all to work together to get the fight. And you just said you're a fighter of the decade and you're standing next to Leonard Ellaby. What are your silent thoughts now that you're allies, friends, working together to better each other's career?
Well, it's nice to work with them, and also it's a big opportunity for my fighters. Like I said, I have a lot of fighters in the Philippines, almost 50 boxers, professional boxers. These boxers is caliber boxers. You know, I'm a fighter. I know how to choose my fighters, so they're good. I'm so glad and happy that we have a chance to fight here in America.
Based on the fights you've seen, what do you think is your biggest advantage fighting Adrien Broner?
Biggest advantage fighting Broner is my power and strength. I think I'm stronger than him.
Do you think volume? He's had trouble throwing a lot of punches. Do you think the volume will have a factor in the fight?
Yes, volume, throwing a lot of punches, and of course hard punches in football also.
Manny, now that you and Freddie Roach have reunited, what was that first conversation like? Was it an in-depth conversation? Did you embrace? What was that first conversation back
well,
like?
The first conversation with my people is just we have a schedule for meeting tonight, so we will let you know what we discuss.
Was it emotional? Was it just a normal day for you?
It's a normal. I have no hard feeling with Fred is a friend of mine since 2009.
How did you get out of Barbarian contract? Seeming that fighters in the past have had difficulty. Mikey Garcia had to sit out 2 years. Oscar went to court. Floyd had to pay money. How did you get out of it?
We obeyed. We finished the contract, and after that.
Oh, was it? Okay, just in.
What's your training schedule going to be like? You said, I think this is one of the first times you're practicing through your birthday and through Christmas and into New Year's. So are you going to do Philippines, US? How will that be?
I have have to finish my work in the Senate, and after that celebrate my birthday. But while working, celebrating my birthday, I'm still in training, of course, situations. And after my birthday celebration, and after that.
So Senate ends on the 12th for everyone. Manny's birthday's the 17th. Then a few days later, he will resume training in Los Angeles.
Media, please stay put. Adrian's on his way in.
All right, we're going to look at
Oh, Manny, one quick question. You look quite fit and trim in your suit today. What was your reaction to Broner's physique when you first laid eyes on him?
Well, he's a little bit fat. He need to train. He need to train more, work hard for his height. But I mean, that's the term that I use.
Brad, I'm taking this one.
Yeah.